The pain in my left arm has been growing. My name is Alan. I'm 15, and I live in a small town south of Wyoming. My dad passed away last year, and my mother has been trying to find the solution to her problems at the bottom of a bottle since his passing. She doesn't acknowledge me much, but I've grown to get used to it in the last few months. The pain in my left arm has been growing the last few days. A few weeks ago, it was only a small itchy sensation in the forearm area. I paid it no mind, of course. I mean, who would? I was most likely stung by a mosquito or bitten by some other small bug. I would later be proven more wrong than I thought possible. The pain in my left arm has been growing. After the first week, the itch had been replaced with a feeling of soreness. This was when I first started to put forward the idea that this could be more than a simple itch or bite. I pushed the idea aside. It's not like I could do anything about it. The nearest hospital is hours away, so I couldn't possibly get checked out. It doesn't help that my mom's car broke down a few months back. It's just sore. Nothing to worry about. That was until last Wednesday. The soreness was a burning feeling. It was as if my forearm was filled with needles and each of them were scraping against the bone, just hoping to make it to the center. I also noticed a small lump forming in the center of where the itch had first originated. I tried to tell my mom. Maybe she'd take me seriously, and I'd be able to find some way to a clinic or hospital. However, this attempt was met with an immediate, yeah, whatever, go play outside. So I decided to push through the pain. My mom had a trip a few days after that, and I didn't want to ruin that for her. God knows she needs it. The pain in my left arm has been growing. My mom left for her trip a few days before the incident. A small needle-sized hole appeared on the lump. That and the lump had begun to grow. The itching and pain had become too much, and I had begun to pick at the lump, only slightly expanding the small hole. It was then that a small black toothpick-like line began to come from the hole. Then another, and another. I froze in my tracks. Spiders. I let out a scream as more spiders of all sizes began to crawl out of my arm and began to burrow into different parts of my arm. Then it hit me. They were going to turn my entire arm into a sort of nest. I panicked and walked into what used to be my dad's study. I was hoping that he had left some sort of medicine or acid or I don't know anything to get these spiders out of my damn arm. I rummaged through all of his drawers and found only a bunch of books and a giggly saw. I hesitated but was quickly snapped back to reality by the feeling of the spiders moving inside of my arm. The pain in my left arm has been growing. I grabbed the giggly saw and bit onto one tip of the saw and held the other tip with my right arm as I began to move my arm back and forth. The saw line scraped into my shoulder as I continued to cut through my arm, tears coming to my eyes. Blood trickled down my side as the saw line moved through my shoulder muscle, through the muscle as I hit the bone. I winced in pain and bit down on my shirt collar as I began to sob. My lifeless left arm fell to the ground as I began to crawl away from it, holding where my arm once was. I got up and ran onto the street holding where my shoulder once was. That leads up to today. I lay here in a hospital bed typing this out on my phone. I'm just glad it's over. The only thing that worries me is that the police had told me that they went to investigate my house and said that they found the giggly saw. However, my left arm was nowhere to be found.